What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. We have a brand new guest on the channel today. We have James from Wanna Play. What's up, James? How you doing?
Happening.
What's up, man?
Been working on all those 50s
Yeah,
movies for our video coming out tomorrow.
tomorrow. I can't wait.
It's a good video.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how it turns out. I know it's going to be great. So yeah, James is also another horror YouTuber who's huge into every decade of horror, like me and Hunter. So yeah, that basically what we're just going to be talking about is our favorites from each era, our favorite monsters, like, you know, just basically just chill stream as always, just having fun.
Yeah. I want to see the chat's favorite too. So like whenever we get to a new like category, I want to see all of like when we get to Universal Monsters, I want to see. That'll be cool. Just get them involved too.
Oh yeah, so we already got This Is My Design. What's up? We got
What's
Horror
up?
Hour, Tim the Enchanter. How's everybody doing?
Tim's the man, or woman, or I'm just gonna stop talking.
James, you're live again. LOL.
Yep. 2 nights in a row.
I know, same for us, man. How was last night? How'd it go?
Oh, last night was a blast. We did like off the top of our heads. We went and we did it was me, This Is My Design, and I Like Scary, and we did our like list of our like the top 10 movies that scared us the most, and we like discussed why each of them were scary and stuff. And it was fun. We talked about a lot of good ones, and I waited for you, Jackson. You were in the chat, and then I don't know how long you were there for, but I waited for you to be in the chat. Then I dropped them. But then
I heard you say them.
Yeah,
and then right, pretty much when you said that is when we started the stream with Helvington. Tim said doing great. Well, that's good. Glad everybody's having a good day so far. It's a rainy day in Kentucky.
It's 90 degrees in Massachusetts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, it was hot earlier today here.
Yeah, it was, and it got humid, and then that's when all hell broke loose.
So, basically, I guess we could get started with the silent era of horror, which is kind of the beginning of it in cinema, at least. So, James, I know you're a big fan of Nosferatu. Would you say that is your favorite silent horror film?
I would definitely say that's my favorite. Like, a lot of them are good. Like, I was talking about this on last night's stream too. He Who Gets Slapped is really good, first ever clown one, but I mean, Nosferatu I think is easily the best.
Yeah, Nosferatu is really good. I really love Dr. Caligari. I love that.
Oh yeah, big time.
Probably I would consider my favorite. Silent.
Yeah.
And have you seen Haxan?
I haven't. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Dude, that movie, that gets under my skin. That creeps me out. It's because it's about like witchcraft and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Helvington's in here and Blackwell. Just woke up from a nap. I'm here, boys. What's up? Nosferatu is great though. Max Shrek, he may be a real vampire. I don't know.
Yeah. Didn't they make a movie about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Is it Shadow of the Vampire?
I think.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I know that it exists and I want to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I also, dude, I really need to check out The Man Who Laughs. I haven't been able to watch that yet. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I've only seen a few silent films. I need to watch more. I've seen I think I've seen Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Nosferatu, and He Who Gets Slapped. I think those are the only ones. I might be forgetting one, but
those are some great ones though.
Yeah. Hopefully Phantom of the Opera's in there.
That's the next one I'm gonna watch because I got to do a video.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, it's great. It's great.
It is great.
Yeah.
We did a live commentary on it.
Yeah.
That was fun. A lot of people really enjoyed that. So let's see, Hunter. What about you? For favorite silent?
I kind of said it there in the beginning. I'm a big fan of Dr. Caligari. It was one of the first ones. I saw Phantom first, I believe, and then Jackson and me actually watched Dr. Caligari, and it was like so cool for me, the aesthetic of it, the movements, and
the aesthetic of it is so cool.
the expressionism of it is just tremendous to me. And then also one of the first, like I could see being one of the first movies that had like a twist ending, you know, or so like a little like just like red herring or whatever.
Yeah, it was a good twist. Like it caught me off guard. I was like, oh wait, really? Like this guy was actually like normal, and the like main character was a psycho. Like that was a good ending.
Yeah. It's definitely we got Firefrost, ABBA. We're getting everybody in here right now.
You can see the inspiration for that one with that ending for like Shutter Island.
Yeah,
like, like that with that ending. Like, it inspired like you can see like a lot of like early like cliches coming from that movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, the 20s is definitely a huge decade for horror, for being like, you know, the first really feature-length films outside of like the short, you know, the shorts from like the late 1800s.
Yeah.
Which actually you did a video about the impact of The House of the Devil.
Yeah, and that's starting a series that I'm gonna do. And that one was just like, it was kind of like a test episode, and it was shorter. The next one I'm gonna do is it's on Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Those are those are the only videos that I actually like script and research. So I have the script all done. I just gotta edit it. So
awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed that first episode because it's like nobody talks about the House of the Devil.
Yeah,
like
it was the first one.
I know. So I'm glad somebody is showing appreciation towards that. So go check out the new series on his channel, and if you all are new to James, go subscribe to his channel.
Go subscribe. He's got great and creative content.
Oh yeah, tons of awesome ideas, and I'm like,
you should see him all the time. We'll be watching you, and then like Jackson be like, dude, he's so fucking creative.
And then channel's in the description down below. This is my design. The only silent film I have seen is A Quiet Place. LOL.
Hey,
that's a good one.
Each their own, man.
Leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Thank you, Tim.
Tim always comes through.
Oh yeah. So I guess we could segue into the 1930s with that one. So the rise of the Universal monsters, you know, Dracula, Frankenstein. We have even other great horror films like Old Dark House, Black Cat, even some like more fantasy like King Kong. Such a great decade for horror, I'd say. Hunter, if you could pick like your top 3 from this decade, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a good one. All right, I'm gonna go 3. You want me to get the reasons why too?
Yeah, sure.
Might as well. 3, I'm gonna say King Kong, the OG. It's one of those movies that like really like you could see inspired so many. It was like one of the first ever, you know, stop motion with King Kong, and it was the way they filmed it and the time period they were at and the chances they took really just like ups the movie for me. And it's entertaining. You know, it's really entertaining. I remember seeing it. Obviously, I was like, I was pushing it off for a while because I was like, oh, it probably looks so stupid. But you watch it and you're like, this is just like, I don't even know like how to explain. Like, it's good. Like, it's almost like perfect for the time. But number 2, I'll go Frankenstein. Because like that was one of the first like Universal movies I watched. I fell in love with. Besides Creature, it was that and Creature. He really like when I think horror, like monsters, like he's like the first one that comes to my head. And the film is so great. The underlying tones, the innocence of it, but also the comedic relief of it. It's really one of my, if not my favorite Universal monster movie. Then I'm gonna say The Old Dark House as number 1 because Karloff in it is fucking amazing. All the actors and actresses were great. It really builds an atmosphere. It's like pure 30, like Jackson said, we talk all the time. You know, the fog and the skeletons, cobwebs, and like it just really builds the atmosphere. And that's what's the scariest part is the old dark house is a character in itself. And so
Yeah, I really like what you said about King Kong as well, because 1933 alone, which is when the original King Kong came out, was huge, so groundbreaking for special effects. So we had the Invisible Man, which was like freaked people out on how they did that, and King Kong, like you said, because it's like a relentless amount of stop motion and like uh background, like different, they're merging films together. If you watch like the process on how they did it, it's really mind-blowing, and it makes you really appreciate the special effects guys even back then from the 30s. It's like that is crazy how they did that then.
it's crazy how they built an 8-foot tall King Kong.
Yeah,
I know.
had him like moving. That's great.
So James, if you could pick 3 from this decade, what would you pick?
I'll go. They're all gonna be Universal monsters. I'm gonna go Invisible Man, number 3. It's just like the effects. Like this guy actually turns invisible for like the time period, like 1933. It's so like crazy how they were able to do that, and like how they were able to make it look so good, and also because it's like it doesn't take itself 100% seriously. So there's like funny, you get like funny scenes, like when he's just wearing a pair of pants and he's like chasing the woman down the street. Like it's a funny movie as well as like one of the most groundbreaking ones.
Mm-hmm.
And Claude Rains is Jack Griffin is like so good. Like
I think that's just like like a perfect role. Like his voice in that.
Yeah, like that's a role where you need to cast somebody with a good voice because like you can't see his face, so like his voice has to be good, and like he's like the perfect guy.
Right. Man at number 3. Yeah.
Yep. My number 2 is going to be Son of Frankenstein, 1939. It's the best sequel ever, best horror sequel ever, in my opinion. It's so good. It's just like everything that the monster does, and the monster is Boris Karloff, so that's another plus because he's the best monster by far. So like him, and then plus Bela Lugosi as Igor, like them like bouncing off each other is so good, and I think the storyline is great too. How it's like his, Frankenstein's son comes back, and like the whole town is like, we don't want you here, and he's like, no, trust me. Like, I'm normal. I'm not going to actually do anything. But then Igor, like, he, like, sways him, like, here's the monster. I want to bring him back. I just think it's awesome.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. I'm glad that you mentioned that because people always talk about Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly.
That Bride of Frankenstein is a great film. But, dude, Son of Frankenstein is, like, probably a little bit better than it.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, it's got the ending where, like, Frankenstein's son literally like he's like above the pit, and he swings down and like drop kicks him into a pit of lava. Like hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. And also like is it Basil Rathbone who plays like the cop who has like a wooden arm or something? You know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
He has like a wooden arm because he said Frankenstein ripped it off or something, like the monster did when he was younger. And I was like, that is a dark backstory for that guy.
We didn't see it in the movie, but I mean, I guess it happened.
Yeah, a lot of those they mention stuff that happens because they're not just gonna straight up show that all the time.
Yeah.
So your number 1 spot.
My number 1 spot. I think it's an obvious one, but there's a reason why it's obvious because it's Dracula. It's so good. I think it's the best Universal monster, like by far.
Dude, yeah, that's.
I mean, he's the OG. Besides, like Phantom, but like he was the pioneer.
Yeah.
Right. Lugosi is just so perfect, you know. Jay Blub said so obvious. Yeah. The creature used to be my favorite Universal monster, but now that I'm older, I realize that he's kind of like a pervert. So I'm Wolfman all the way, or Dracula. There you go. Nice answer.
Yeah.
This is my design.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. He kind of is.
Well, would you consider Frank the monster to be like that? Frankenstein's monster? In the same
Yeah,
kind of-
probably. I think some people could say Dracula's like that, but I'd say that Dracula, instead of a pervert, he's more of a player.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like he just naturally gets the chicks.
No, yeah. It's his swagger, you know.
Exactly. Like coming down the stairs slowly, and he extends his arm. I am Dracula. Like, I mean, yeah.
So for my top 3, I'm probably gonna have to go with at number 3, King Kong, for the same reasons Hunter
Sorry, I
did.
keep getting like out and in.
Oh, you're good. Number 2, The Invisible Man, for the exact same reasons. I absolutely love that movie. Special effects, Claude Rains, James Well. It's the whole shindig, and it's funny, like you said. Also, I'm pretty sure it's like the highest body count of.
Yeah, because he like tips over a train at one point.
Yeah.
And,
He
killed 100 people.
Yeah, who knows how many people were in that train, even though it's like a model set or whatever. But that, and dude, the number 1 spot is so hard because to me it's between like Dracula and Frankenstein, but the very first one that I've ever seen was Dracula. Hold on, Jay Love said, "Yeah, Blue from Jurassic World's my fave." Shout out to Jurassic World, I guess. That caught me so off guard. But Lugosi, from Dracula, it's so iconic. When anybody does a impression of Dracula, they're doing a Lugosi impression.
Yeah, like he is Dracula. Like Christopher Lee is awesome. Gary Oldman is awesome, but they're no Bela Lugosi.
Right, and he's only played it twice.
Yeah,
like that just shows you how good.
Yeah, and the second one was in a slapstick comedy film.
Right, so dude, I love that movie.
Me too. That's like one of my. It's so funny because it's like House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, combined to get like they combine all the monsters together, and take it seriously, but they're not the best. But then you get to Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, and it's like it's so good.
I know, and then I love also the very end too, where we get the hint of the Invisible Man.
Oh my god, that's amazing,
dude.
That whole ending where it's like Dracula turns into a bat, then the Wolfman like grabs him and like jumps off the balcony into like the ocean. It's so good.
Oh yeah, for sure. I watch all these movies. Okay, so outside of Halloween or October or whatever, I always watch these movies just here and there.
Yeah.
But when we get to October and we're actually in the Halloween season, I always have a goal, and it's always to watch the original 7 monsters, always, and then check out. I mean, I've seen all of them, but the sequels, like let me rewatch The Mummy's Curse now, or let me rewatch Ghost of Frankenstein. It's just they're all so perfect for the season,
Yeah.
And I think Abbott and Costello is like the perfect one that has the right amount of fun in it.
Yeah. It's good because it's like it's fun, but they don't treat the characters like jokes. Like Dracula is still like he's pretty much the same Dracula in like the 1931 version.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens that his surroundings are now like goofy dudes falling everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I like Scary's in the chat. What's up, man?
Really?
What's up?
Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon.
Brandon's the GOAT, man, for putting the Clash together.
Seriously. Got a new one coming up May 20th.
Yeah, I know. May 20th is the next one. Dracula Dead and Loving It is the best. That chicken, wow, it's good. Have you ever seen that, James?
What is it?
Dracula Dead and Loving It. It's a
No, I haven't.
comedy Dracula film. Hold up. It has Leslie Nielsen in it. It's ridiculous, but it's pretty funny. Jay Blow said, "Talk about dinosaurs." Tim,
We're done it tomorrow. I talk about Beast of 20,000 Fathoms. That counts. Tomorrow's video.
there you go. Why don't you mention Beast from 20,000 Fathoms real quick?
Yep, that movie's fun. Big
It
dinosaur gets, unfrozen. They like nuke the Arctic, and then the dinosaur's there, and then he goes and like kills New York City. It's a Godzilla ripoff, but it's still good.
Oh no, yeah, it is pretty good. I like Scary. How you doing tonight, man? Oh, Tim said Abbott Costello Meet the Invisible Man is excellent. Yeah, dude, that's probably my second favorite.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that soon because I've seen all the Invisible Mans except for that one. I'm gonna watch that and like do the ranking video for it.
I think you'll like this one a lot too. Yeah. So yeah, the 1930s, such a great decade for horror. One of my personal favorites. The 40s, I think everybody, for the most part, has the same number one answer, which is I'll just say my number one, the Wolfman.
I'll also say my number one, the Wolfman.
Well, my number one is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, but my number two is the Wolfman.
Well, I say I'm vice versa.
Yeah.
They're replaceable with each other, so like it really just depends. They're two different, so
right. Helvington, did you like the remake of The Invisible Man? I love the remake of The Invisible Man, and I am such a
yeah,
that's
amazing.
I know, and I'm such a stan of the original. Like, there's no way it's gonna be better or whatever. And then I went and saw it with one of my friends, and I was like, dude, this is such like a good modern retelling of the story. And yeah, the 2020 version, it's awesome.
Yeah, I like how it references the original too at times. Like, the scene where it's like she looks in the chair, and it's like, is he in the chair? Because in the original, there was a bit where he like sat down and was like, wait a minute, he could be there. There's like other stuff like that thrown out.
My favorite scene from that movie, or favorite jump scare, I guess you could say, when she's in the attic.
Oh yeah,
and she like throws the paint down like the ladder up to the attic. You can see his face appear.
I think that the opening of that, like her trying to escape like her boyfriend, I think that's legit like one of the best openings ever.
Oh, it's
like
good.
It's so, because it goes on forever, and it's like so like tension filled. Like she's being quiet, and then like every time she makes a noise, it's like, oh no, he's gonna wake up.
Oh yeah. J-Pub again. What are your thoughts on Hotel Transylvania?
Oh, it's freaking a masterpiece,
dude.
Which one? I said which one?
I've seen them all.
I'm guessing the original is what he's talking about. But
I like the original one.
I do too. I love
the original one's fun. I forget which one is the second one, and the third one is it's bad.
I haven't seen the third one.
I haven't seen the second or third one.
I had to watch the third one because I remember how I watched the third one because it was like in school or something. They were like, oh, it's movie day, and for whatever reason, I don't even know why they chose it, but it was Hotel Transylvania 3 for some reason. And I remember telling my friend, oh no, this movie's actually pretty fun, because I thought it was the original, but it was the third one, and literally everybody walked out of the class like, what did we just watch?
That's funny.
It was so weird. I was like, all right.
How about Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon? I have not seen that.
I haven't either.
I have not either. 0 for 3.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I know, right? Have you seen Chevy Chase Memoirs of an Invisible Man? I have not either, and I love Chevy Chase and I love The Invisible Man, and that's also a John Carpenter movie.
Is it really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And yeah, I haven't seen that, so I gotta check that out. Again, Abba, do you like Hollow Man? I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. The new Evil Dead game. Oh, that is awesome. It's. We should Oh, what is it, Hunter?
No, I'm one of the unfortunate ones whose games wouldn't let them play because their servers were down.
Oh yeah.
I haven't even played it yet.
Yeah, I bought it, but I haven't played it yet.
Well, it's a lot of fun. If
you can
we
get
all,
on, it's probably fun.
yeah, if we all get the chance to one time, we should all play together.
Yeah.
I don't want to like spoil anything for you, James, but you can play as like all the different versions of Ash, and like you can have like 3 different Ashes in like one match versus all these demons. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
I wish more horror movies would get games, because we got Friday the 13th and Evil Dead. Like, that's it.
Well, there was a Predator game that came out, like, I want to say last year. It's called Predator Hunting Grounds. It was pretty good though.
I think I saw that. I don't have it though.
And they are doing a I think they're still doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Yeah, I saw that. That one's going to be good. Of the
said,
games that we've got of like Predator, Friday the 13th, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw is probably my favorite like series. So that's gonna be a fun one.
Dude, I loved Friday the 13th the game, because I think that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite slasher series, and seeing a game so faithful to those movies was like,
that's cool.
Check out Jackson's live stream playing Evil Dead the game. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, go check it out if you want to see some cool gameplay. Helvington, Dead by Daylight. Dude, okay. The thing with Dead by Daylight for me is like, okay, it's cool that it has like all the cool, like, horror characters that everybody loves, but you play it a couple times and it's just like, all right, like, I don't know. I liked it, but I couldn't really play it that much. But I could play Friday 13th for forever. Yeah. We must see Hunter in action fighting Evil Dead. I Like Scary said the Evil Dead game is sick. Yeah, and I just saw you were streaming it earlier today. And this is my design said about to play Evil Dead for the first time. Dude, play it and let us know how much you like it.
Yeah. I was gonna play with this is my design last night. I forget what happened. Something happened though. I think we just started eating and then we didn't stop, and then it was like midnight. I was like, oh, all right, well.
Facts. Wish you could fight back in Dead by Daylight. Yeah, Helvington.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And like you said, I want to see more movie franchise based horror games, because that'd be a lot of fun. So I guess we could segue to the 1950s, right?
Yep.
So
tomorrow.
Yeah, which here you can promote that if you want.
Yep. Tomorrow we got a video coming out. It's me and Jackson. We go back and forth. We do we do an individual list, count down our top 10 favorite horror movies from the 50s. It's gonna be a fun one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Make sure to check that out. I'll be promoting it.
Yep.
And you'll see it. It's gonna be a great video for sure. Ava said Hunter is changing trucker hats again.
No, bro, that's not happening at all.
J Bub said, which monster do you think has the highest body count? Um,
Wolfman.
you think the Wolfman?
What?
Dracula.
I think Dracula.
Dracula. Yeah,
The
that
dude
makes
has
sense.
multiple wives in the first place.
Yeah, bro.
he-
He's a straight up pimp.
Yeah, he's been around for hundreds of years. Wolfman's just a dude.
Yeah,
Dracula's,
he's a dude who has like a problem, and
yeah,
like no girl's gonna want that the whole
he's
time.
he's like a suicidal, constantly depressed dude. But still, somehow in those movies, he gets all the girls to fall for him. I don't know how. He's just lucky, I guess.
I guess so. He said not. He said not in combat. Since y'all have the Universal Monster Horror Blu-ray, in which order should I watch them? Oh,
Ooh,
definitely. In my opinion, I think you should watch them chronologically,
from start to end. Yeah.
from Dracula, Frankenstein, Mummy, Invisible Man. I'm sure it comes with Bride of Frankenstein, so that,
Yep.
and then Wolfman, and then Creature, if you're doing the main ones, I guess.
I think they randomly threw the 1940s Phantom of the Opera in there too. So just like watch that one last. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, have you seen that one, James?
I have, but it's been a few years. I'm gonna need to rewatch it before I do my video, like ranking all of them.
I think it was really cool to see Claude Rains play as the Phantom because, you know, me being a huge fan of the Invisible Man, seeing him as like another horror character is something really cool. But it's as much like it has really good Technicolor, direction's good, acting's good, but it's not better than Lon Chaney.
Yeah.
Blackwell said Dracula has the most body count. West Tech said awesome. Bride of Frankenstein is the only one that I have watched. Well, dude, wait
You're in for a
until you
treat.
watch. Yeah, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
They're all great. Let's put his channel in the link of the chat. Okay. Yeah, somebody put James's channel in the chat link. It's already in the description, so if you want to subscribe to James, make sure to do so.
Not if you want to. Go do it.
Go do it
Do it
right now.
now.
Go do it.
So yeah, the 1950s.
This is like one of my the most underrated years for horror.
Yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
think so as well.
It's unique too. There's kind of nothing really like it. There's no decade that like this is kind of the decade for like big things. Like there's no other really decade that has like a lot of those like this.
Right, like it's got so many different subcategories.
Yeah.
It's like alien invaders, giant monsters, haunted house,
And then
Atomic
Vincent Price is like his
radiation.
own thing.
Yeah, and the whole Vincent Price
Yeah, he's
shit.
everywhere.
So Hunter, what are some of your favorites from the 1950s?
So one of my favorite, I'll say, I don't know. It's hard to pick an order. I know number one is Creature, but number two, I really enjoyed The Blob. The Blob is like such like a pure like 50s horror, fun, like cheesy. It stars Steve McQueen, which is like crazy. And then number three, I would say The Tingler. Okay, it's a tie between Tingler. Have you ever seen House of Wax?
I haven't, but
If it's
yeah,
I cannot remember if it's from the 60s or
that one's from the 50s. I know because
53.
Yeah.
I'll say the House of Wax then, not the Tingler. The House of Wax is fucking awesome. Vincent Price is like top notch, and
yeah. I was editing our 50s video, and one of Jackson's picks was House of Wax, and literally like I was looking for like clips of the movie to use in the video, and I was like, these clips are sick. I actually want to watch this now.
oh, it's nuts. You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen it, no. But I want to watch it.
It's a good story too, and Vincent Price is obviously his, how he is.
Yeah.
Maybe he takes his own into everything. So, so what's your top three?
So I know Jackson's favorite is Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yours is Creature from the Black Lagoon. Mine is Revenge of the Creature, the sequel.
Okay.
Cause I just thought it was like such a great way to like continue the story of the original, and it was so cool how they like turned the creature into like the hero of the story. Yeah. I just thought it was really like cool how they did, like they had him chained like underneath in the aquarium, and then when he breaks out, that's so cool. He breaks the chain, jumps on, is like he like throws some guy into the pit. It's a fun movie.
Oh, it really is. It's one of the better Universal sequels for sure.
Yeah. That's my number one. My number two is Them, Killer Giant Ants, because it's a movie about killer giant ants, but it's also like it's creepy. Like it's more than just big freaking ants. It's got like a really good atmosphere, and like it's got a really good atmosphere to it. Like they're in the middle of a desert, and then all of a sudden they hear this like crazy noise, and it's like looming over the whole desert, and it's the giant ants. It's so cool. And then my third one is House on Haunted Hill, because that movie's just so much fun. There's so much in it. It's so much fun.
Right. I think that's one of mine as well.
Yeah.
Hammer's Curse of Frankenstein, said Tim. That's a really good one. The Hammer films is something that I've been wanting to get way into more.
Me too. I've only seen Horror of Dracula. It's the only one I've seen.
I haven't even seen a couple. No, I have seen Horror of Dracula. Yeah, I'm lying. I have seen a good amount of them.
This is my design said, my bad, James. I ate pizza and passed out watching WrestleMania Backlash.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, yeah. Abba said, just sub to James. There you go, Abba. West Tex, love the original The Blob. I have The Tingler and haven't watched it yet. The Tingler's
a blast.
That was in my top 10 for the 50s. A great Vincent Price movie, as always. Abba said, Hunter, okay, Drill Sergeant, go do it.
Hey, they did.
There you go. Alex Scary said, have any of you guys seen Firestarter? Are you talking about the original or the new one that just came out?
Probably the new one. I haven't seen either of them, but I'm probably going to watch them both like this week.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen them either, but the new one looks good.
Yeah, it does. And the original one is, I think it's like Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, isn't it John Carpenter?
The original?
Yeah.
It might be.
I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Or maybe he just like produced it. Let me check. Firestarter.
Yeah, the new one does look good though. I do want to check that out at some point. So no, to answer your question, I have not seen it yet, but
it's not John Carpenter.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's Mark Lester. But it's a Stephen King written. It's based off a Stephen King book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know it's he had something to do with, I swear he had something to do with the original. Maybe it's the soundtrack or
he did, yeah. It might have been the score.
I swear, I know I'm not crazy about that. Tim said a lot of William Castle movies from that time. Yes, William Castle.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
one of the greatest.
John Carpenter scores it.
Oh, he did score it.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah. See, I knew he did something with it.
Yeah.
A lot of William Castle movies from that time. Yeah, one of the greatest movie producers ever, who's probably produced like thousands of movies. He's been doing it since like the early 1950s and still does it.
He's still doing movies?
Yeah. I think his I watched one on Netflix like a year or two ago, and it was a Sharktopus. It was half shark, half octopus.
You said William Castle?
Yeah, he did that. He produced that still.
He says he died in 1977. William
Castle?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Roger Corman. Roger Corman.
Oh yeah.
I looked it up. I was like,
my bad. Roger Corman. he had
His
his hand in
movies
a lot of
are
those movies.
so bad, but so much fun.
Yeah. William Castle is dead. Sorry for the confusion.
I watched. So I've only seen 2 Roger Corman films, but it was funny. So I watched Little Shop of Horrors. Then I watched A Bucket of Blood, and I was like, wait a minute. He reused the score from A Bucket of Blood for Little
Yeah.
Shop of Horrors. It's the exact same score.
Well, Shop of Horrors is fun, man.
It is. He was all about doing stuff like as cheap as possible. I heard.
I think I did watch another one. Have you ever seen Bride of the Monster?
Ed
I've
Wood.
heard of it.
Oh yeah, Ed Wood. That's who it is.
Oh yeah.
Ed Wood, man.
Yeah.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh god.
What a great movie. Daniel said, I love Godzilla as well. Yeah, the original Godzilla, that was on my list.
Yep.
J Blub, I love Stephen King. Yeah, I love Stephen King as well.
Stephen King rules.
That's right.
My 2 all-time favorite horror movies. Number 1, The Shining. Number 2, Carrie. Both Stephen King adaptations.
See, I mean, he's one of the. It's so funny to me, like how he acts in Creepshow. He's like this funny, like,
Goofy.
like goofy, like nut farmer guy.
Yeah.
That's the same guy who has scared people for decades. Like
that's the guy who wrote Pennywise, like the demon clown from space that eats kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can't stand the remake of House of Wax. How do you all feel about it?
I'm not a fan either.
I've never seen it, but I heard that it was pretty bad.
Okay, like, why? I feel like they shouldn't have remade it, but everything during it came out in like 2000, 2010, that range.
I think it was 9. I think
it was somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So it was obviously like teenagers and like it's super cheap. They're not cheap, but like it's so corny. It's so 2000s.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know. It has some good parts, but it's not nowhere near as close as the original. Jay Bluff said Hunter with a correction.
I wasn't trying to be a dig about it.
I don't know. Thank you for correcting me because I don't want to sit there and be like still talking about William Castle.
He has a movie coming out next fucking year, dude.
And he's been dead for 40 years.
Yeah. You guys hear about the new James Whale movie coming out pretty soon? I heard it's been pretty good.
Yeah, dude. I heard Todd Browning's working on.
Yeah, I heard that F.W. Murnau, the guy who made Nosferatu, he's still pumping him out too.
Imagine. I wonder what, like, if we took a silent film director and like threw him in modern day, like,
yeah.
I wonder how they would have done like Hereditary or like something crazy like that.
You know, I want to see a sequel to a silent film, and I just see how like a sequel to Nosferatu, it would make sense because the dude's a vampire. So if they did like Nosferatu 2023 and had like the same makeup, that would be cool.
That would be cool. That's a good idea.
Sick, yeah.
What about like a Caligari remake? It's like
that's one that could definitely be remade.
Yeah, I would hope it would have the same German expressionism.
Yeah,
you know, it's got to. I feel like
it would have to have like a real like. You would need to make sure that like the director and like writer like know what they're doing, like know the original movie and are like fans of it. Because if not, it's not going to be as good as the original.
Yeah, I mean that's so hard to top because that film is literally talked about in like film classes.
Yeah.
So Stephen King, my favorites are Misery and The Dead Zone. I haven't seen The Dead Zone.
Misery's phenomenal.
Misery is one of the best.
Yeah, the Misery's great. Every single time, like when it gets to that one scene, and I know what we're all talking about, it. Yeah. See, just thinking about it.
Yeah, there's that scene, and there's also the one scene where it's like, You know when like Annie she goes to get the papers, and when she's coming back and it cuts like back and forth from like her getting home and like Paul like in the wheelchair and he's like sweating. That's like so well done.
Yeah, no, that movie is I feel like that deserves to be talked about more as well.
Yeah,
because Misery is great.
I heard it's Stephen King's favorite adaptation of one of his books.
I could definitely see that.
And it's so funny how he does not like The Shining.
Yeah, he likes so many of them because I saw like he said that the Carrie movie was better than his book, but then The Shining he just doesn't like it.
I know he likes the TV made Shining.
Yeah, I've
never seen that.
I have. It's fine, but it's just kind of it's a lot weirder. Like they had like the maze in the end, the hedge maze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the miniseries, it's hedge like animals that come to life.
Is that how? I've never read the book either. That's one of the few horror books that I have not like got on yet. Is that? Have you read the book?
I read like half of it. It was so weird. Because it's like this is no maze. Instead, it's like a bunch of like trees that were like carved into to look like dogs come to life. And it's more like yes, it is supernat. Like it's like straightforward. Like yes, this is all really happening. It's just kind of like I don't know. The movie, I just think the original did it like the best by far.
I mean, yeah, Stanley Kubrick. I mean, a huge fan of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's my top 2 of horror movies. That and Halloween.
It's my number 1. And I'm getting the coolest thing I swear I've ever seen. And I don't even know how it got to where it was, but I was at the mall the other day, and we have this like store. It's literally a sports autograph store, and every now and then you'll get like a movie poster signed, and there's The Shining signed by Shelley Duvall, who was and I don't even know how, because she lives in like a small town in Texas, so I don't even know how that got there. But I'm going back tomorrow and I'm getting it. It's gonna be so cool.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's gonna be probably that's gonna be up there for your horror collection.
That's my number 1 thing. It's like $250, the most expensive thing by far I've ever got.
Oh yeah, you gotta do an unboxing or not unboxing,
I will.
A review on it.
I will.
Be looking forward to that. Abba said Metropolis Part 2. Metropolis is a great silent film, which didn't reference, but it influenced a lot of movies. Like, for example, Star Wars. C-3PO is based off of the robot in Metropolis. That's just one example. What about the Exorcist remake from West Tex? The prequel or
the new ones that are coming out?
I know there's new ones that are coming out, but if you're talking about the new ones that's coming out, I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, they could be good. I mean, it's the guy who did the 2018 Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it could be pretty good. And if they manage to get back like Linda Blair, I think it would be cool to have her as kind of like someone who comes in as like they have a new girl, and then she comes in as like, I've been here before, I know what this feels like.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Or like she goes back to the possessed girl and she confronts Pazuzu. That would be a sick scene.
Yeah, it would.
Like think of another girl being possessed by Pazuzu, and then Reagan walks in and is like, "Remember me, bitch." That would be so cool.
Well, why don't you make the new Exorcist? They should just hand it over to you. Christopher Walken was great in The Dead Zone.
Christopher Walken's a great actor. He's great.
He is. He's awesome. Do you think we could hit? Oh my God! Do you think we could hit 600 subs? Hopefully, that's the goal, for sure. Yes, we can. Any foreign horror films you like in the last 15 years, James? Good question, Abba.
I haven't really seen any from the like recent times, but the best one I've seen, and I talked about it last stream, and I got Brandon to watch it like I think he said he was gonna watch it like literally last night after the stream was over. I don't know if he did, but have either of you guys seen House from the Japanese one?
From 77,
Yeah,
I think.
I
I've
have not.
seen parts of it.
I've seen a lot of like reviews about it, but
Yeah,
it's so crazy because what it was like, so the director went to his like 11-year-old daughter and was like, I'm making a movie about a haunted house. What are some things that like scare you? And she just said a whole bunch of random stuff. He wrote it down and just like cobbled it all together and threw it on screen. So there's bits where like mattresses kill people. There's a scene where a guy like sees something scary and then just turns into a pile of bananas. Like there's someone I think who gets like decapitated but then comes back as like a floating watermelon. It's
because of course.
Yeah. It's so weird. The piano starts attacking the piano swallows somebody, I think. It's yeah.
I have to check out this movie now.
Yep.
One of my favorite that I watched recently that I talked to Brandon about it. I like scary. Train to Busan.
Yeah.
That movie is amazing. I watched it on Shudder, and man, that movie is just perfectly directed. Like honestly, it takes place on like a subway train the whole time, and it's super suspenseful. Like you really dig the characters. Like you want to see them win, but the ending is like, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah. No, I'm not saying anything because I really want you all to check it out if you haven't seen it. James, do you have a favorite figure behind you?
Let me check. I think it's gonna be. You can see it. The tall man next to the xenomorph.
Oh, okay.
Because that one's a really rare one. It's an old NECA, like they used to do this line called like Cult Classics, and it was like 2005 they released it, and it's like figures that to this day still haven't been like remade, and that's one of them, and that's like one of the rarest ones. And I got it off of eBay for like cheap.
I had the what you were talking about, but the Halloween version.
Yeah.
The Michael Myers, but it broke.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it is that on day one he fell off the shelf and he broke his hand.
Yeah, same thing with Michael. It was up there for a while actually, but it fell and it broke.
That's the thing about them is that this dude just keeps falling. Like for months, I'm telling you, for months he just kept falling, and then one day it was literally like a few weeks. I've had him since like January. Literally just a few weeks ago, I put him up there and he hasn't fell.
Well, there you go.
So I just got lucky.
Hopefully it stays that way, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on track. What we on the 60s?
Wait, one more thing about the before we're talking about the 50s, we're talking about figures. So I just want to show this off too.
Go show it off.
Because it's a rare one that I don't think I've seen anybody else have, but it's cheap. It's The Fly.
Oh, dude, I've seen that before. I can't tell you how many times I've almost bought that.
Yeah. I bought it literally the day after I saw The Fly. I was like, let me see if there's any Fly figures. And this was popped up. It was like $15 on Amazon. I was like, that's mine. Thank you very much.
I saw it in Walmart one time. I was looking for a new movie release came out. I forget what it was. It was probably like the new Scream when that came out, like on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yep.
But that's when I found this at Walmart, and I was like, "Are you serious?" What? Hunter was with me actually when I found this. I was like, "Well, I gotta get it." Yeah,
I pre-ordered it. I didn't even know it was a thing. It was the same thing. I just kind of looked at Invisible Man figure. I was like pre-order, and I was like, "Oh yeah, take that." And
yeah, I didn't even know that was coming out.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't either. I just kind of stumbled across and just bought it.
the same. It was like a instant buy, you
Yeah.
know. But then right next to it, they had the Fly, the figure that you
Yeah.
just showed. I was like, Invisible Man, but I'll be back. And then I've never seen it again.
Yeah. I also got it's close to my Phantasm one. I got all the Universal Monster Megos right there. So like Invisible
Yeah,
Man's up there, Dracula, Mummy, all them.
when I found the Invisible Man one, I looked up and then I saw there was a creature one.
Yeah.
I was like,
The creature one's really cool. It's one of the
yeah,
best.
I cannot find the creature.
I found it on a website called Mercari. It's like eBay. Like it's pretty much just eBay.
Really?
Yeah. So like look it up on there. I'll see if I can find one and I'll like send it to you.
West Text declared. Well, hold on. The Great GBF said Exorcist 3 is really cool. I haven't seen any of the sequels. I have seen the 2 prequels though.
I've never seen any of them, but I heard that Exorcist 3 is really good.
I have as well. West Text to clarify, the new one's coming out. I think it's a death sentence trying to remake one of the all-time horror films. I mean, yeah, but it's been done. It's been done to Halloween, to countless others.
I think that Exorcist should get. I don't think it should get a remake, but I think like the Legacy sequel route.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea because it's just like The Exorcist. It's kind of like what they're doing with Halloween. The Exorcist was such a good movie, and the more movies they made, it just got worse and worse, and just kind of like ruined the legacy. So like, if these ones are good, why not just bring it back and end the series on like a high note, like kind of what they're doing with Halloween?
Right. And West Tech said House is showing on HBO Max.
Yeah, it is.
HBO Max. I have no excuses now.
Yeah.
Abba said, nice to fly. Said, that's cool. I've never seen it before from Tim. Yeah, that's an awesome figure. So, back on track. The 1960s.
Yep.
Hunter, do you want to start off with the 1960s?
Yeah, I can. So I'll go from 3 to 1.
Okay.
So, number 3, these are very all innovative movies. One is like it is. So number 3, I got Night of the Living Dead. Shout out your shirt, Jackson. It didn't start the zombie, but it started like the new look for the zombies.
The modern.
Yeah, the modern zombie. It's underlying themes of society and the whole ending with Dwayne Ben. I can never remember his last name.
Dwayne Jones.
Yeah,
Dwayne Jones, and the ending is just like so gut wrenching. Like, it was really innovative for the time, and it's like one of those, like Jackson says all the time, it's one of his favorites, and I consider it one of my favorites because Romero just went out and made a movie. Like, him and his buddies were like, "Oh, we got some money," and they made this cultural movie that I feel like it's a staple for every horror fan. So that's my number 3. My number 2 would be I don't know. So Rosemary's Baby. I couldn't think of it for a second. Rosemary's Baby. I watched it recently again, and it's almost perfect. Like, it was always considered like one of like the more scarier horror movies, but you can really see how it influenced the new age horror, the psychological really like clues you have to figure out throughout the film. Like Jordan Peele I think Jordan Peele said this is his favorite horror movie. It's just so creative. And then number 1 for me is Psycho. I'm a big Alfred Hitchcock stan. It's one of those movies I saw and I was like the same reaction. Like, everybody has the same reaction. Usually it's like, oh, they killed off the main girl in the first half hour or half movie, and then there's no lead character. It's always switching. The Bates Motel's a character. Norman's a character. Like, everybody, like, there's so many characters and switches and character arcs, and it's just really fantastic. So that's my 3.
Yeah. My 3, I'll go number 3, Pit and the Pendulum. It's so good Cause it gives me kind of vibes of like The Shining. I think like the score is really similar to that movie, and it's just like I just love how it all unfolds, and then of course the ending. The ending scene is so good when like the pendulum's actually swinging down, about to cut the guy. That movie's amazing. And then my number 2 is gonna be Night of the Living Dead, because the same reasons you said, it's so good and it's one of the scariest ones there is too.
Mm-hmm.
And my number 1 is also Psycho, because Psycho is another one of the all-time best, and I think it also the Psycho franchise I think is my favorite horror franchise ever.
Really?
Yeah, because it's so there isn't a single bad one. Like I don't really include the remake because it's a shot for shot. Like Psycho 1 through 4, in my opinion, is the greatest stretch of continuity in horror movie history.
Dude, I still have to check out those sequels.
Me too.
They're so good. Like a lot of people, I feel like we turned off like Psycho 2 coming out. It's not Hitchcock, and it comes out like 12 years or 22 years after the first one.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. All 4 of them are amazing.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into those. Catch back up on the chat real quick. Is that a Jason mask over your shoulder, Jackson? Oh, okay. Here, yeah, it is. But here, let me show you real quick. It's Creature from the Black Lagoon wearing the Friday 13th mask for Friday 13th yesterday. I tried to shoot some video, but I don't think it's gonna work out. Like a special Jason video, but it didn't work out, and I just haven't took it off. But my top 3, number 3, dude, Pit in the Pendulum is great.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Haunted Palace?
I have not.
It's got Vincent Price, Lon Chaney Jr., and one more big horror name. I can't think. It might be Basil Rathbone, but bro, the atmosphere in that is insane. That's my number 3. My number 2 is Psycho, because I mean,
yeah.
And my number 1 is Night of the Living Dead. Huge. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Actually.
Yep, I agree.
It's just everything that it stood for, like the budget it was made on, and how groundbreaking it was. It's like,
yeah,
it's awesome.
Psycho's in my top 10 of all time. Night of the Living Dead is in my top 20 of all time easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I saw somebody put the Birds on there.
Yeah,
Birds is great.
Birds.
Another good one, The Raven. Jack Nicholson, Boris Karloff, and Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't. Except like they have a weird wizard battle at some point.
Yeah, that was weird, but I'm telling you, like, if it wasn't Vincent Price, Jack Nicholson, and Boris Karloff, a talking bird, and then the wizard battle would be so like it would be such a bad movie. But because those guys are in it,
Peter Lorre as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what you said. Okay, so the 1970s.
This is my favorite era.
Easily the best decade in horror.
Yeah.
Before I got on here, I was just looking through a list of all of them. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
I was like, there's so many.
Difficult.
But I'm gonna go make it's quick. I mean, I could talk about it all day. We should do another episode where we do specifically 70s horror.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because that's just the decade for horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but my number 3, and it's tied, is between Carrie and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Both Carrie is so underrated as a horror movie. It's almost perfect. The story of Carrie and her mother, and then dealing with high school and being so sheltered, it's just it's all great. The Texas Chainsaw, I mean, come on, it's one of the grittiest horror movies I've ever seen. Number 2 is Halloween, which is my number 1. I don't really. I mean, it is technically horror, but one Halloween, and that's replaceable. Is Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws.
Dude, yes.
Jaws is so good.
It's so
my top 3, just to go super fast. Last one, interchangeable: Texas Chainsaw and Dawn of the Dead. Shining. And then number 1 is irreplaceable with Jaws and Halloween.
Yeah. Mine is so difficult because I think so. I have like the list on my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. I think 6 of those movies are from the 70s. So like I don't want to say one because I'll leave off the other.
Right.
So I think Carrie's my number 1. Suspiria is my number 2. And then number 3 is going to be interchangeable with Halloween and The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man. Bless you.
Yeah.
Wicker
Man
Man's
is so good. I love it.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
You know, doing his
thing. The movie for free and still says it is his favorite that he's ever done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Dude, I could talk about that for forever, too.
Yeah.
When Midsommar came out, a lot of people was like, oh, it's just a Wicker Man ripoff.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it. I went to see it once, but then it said like 3 hours long. I was like, maybe later.
I watched it last October, and it was crazy. But it definitely is similar to Wicker Man in some sense. Shaping the Shadows just joined. What's up, man?
What
up? Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Yes, thank you, Tim. Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Amityville Horror.
Oh, Amityville Horror, that's another one of my top 10.
Yeah. See, the 70s is so insanely good.
Amityville Horror is the scariest movie that I've ever seen. Like, that easily is the one that scared me the most. Me
and Hunter watched that recently, too.
Yeah, well, I think it was during Christmas time, which for I don't know why, but we did. It's never a bad time to watch a scary movie.
Yeah,
exactly. So, 1980s. This one's also hard for me, though. Yeah, I love this decade as well.
You want me to go? Why you think?
Wait, hold on. Y'all, did I say The Shining in the 70s?
Yeah, you did.
You did. I corrected you once already. I wasn't gonna do it again.
I was like, oh my.
I was like,
bro, I always throw that one in with the 70s. So like every single time, bro. Okay.
It just seems like a 70s movie. It doesn't seem like an 80s movie.
I know.
Yeah, no. It was really damn close.
Yeah.
So yeah, The Shining, obviously 1980s, but Friday 13th Part 3 and Aliens, those are all so different.
Yeah.
I love all 3 of those films.
I'm gonna go number 3. We're gonna go The Evil Dead, the original. I prefer the original over the second one. I know it's not a very popular opinion, but I prefer the first one. Number 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, that was like one of the first like decently like 80s like movie that I saw, and it just really inspired me to go out and seek more and see how creative people can be with the slashers. And number 1, The Shining, which is top 5 all time in like film history. So,
yeah.
Yep. My number 3, The Thing. Best practical effects ever.
Oh,
the storyline is amazing. It's the best remake ever. It's got to be.
It's so crazy to me how people are like, no, I'm talking about the original The Thing. And the original is like the 80s version.
You know, the original is still the remake because then there's a prequel to that movie.
Yeah. And like people don't even know the 50s one exists. Yeah. But keep going.
Oh, yeah. Number 3 is The Thing. Number 2 is They Live. Pretty much because it's John Carpenter teaming up with Roddy Piper. And then Roddy Piper just going around and just killing a bunch of aliens while dropping like wrestling promo lines on them. Like, you can't get any better than that. Like,
I think
he walks into a bank with like a giant gun just in the bank, and he just looks around and goes, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm
Yeah.
all out of bubblegum. It just shoots everybody. It's the best.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah. And then number 1 is The Shining.
Right. But
Yeah.
the 90s is one of my least favorite decades of horror. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, there's not really much going on. Like the first like 5 years, there's like nothing.
Yeah,
Like until Scream, there's pretty much nothing.
exactly. But I'm gonna have to go with. Let me fact check myself on this one, so I don't do another mistake. Here, somebody else go first.
You want to go first?
Let me look at my list.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go with.
I don't have a single 90s movie in my top 20. Jesus.
Well, here, I'll go. Number 3, I have The People Under the Stairs, which is more nostalgic for me than anything else. It was one of the first horror movies I ever watched. I talked about it on the podcast or the stream before. Jackson's never seen it. I'm trying to get him to watch it. It's Wes Craven. It's Wes Craven. Like, he made 2 of my top 3 90s movies. And the movie is it was really fun. It's probably one I'll show him, like, if I have a kid that's in, like, it wants to be into it, then I'll probably show him that, like, early on. It's just really fun. And it has some underlining themes as well that is always good. But number 2, and some people might not consider it a horror movie, but you consider Silence of the Lambs a horror movie?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Okay, I'll put that number 2. That's one of the only movies that I've ever actually read the book as well. And then number 1, Scream. I mean, it is the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know mine now, just to be clear.
Yeah, I got mine.
Tremors. I love Tremors.
Oh, that throws my whole list off now.
I love Tremors so much. I literally talk about it all the time. Any single time the 90s are mentioned. But outside of, like, the real, like, serious cinema masterpieces like Silence of the Lambs and, like, Misery. I mean, as much as I love those, I'm going for, like, fun here.
Yeah.
So Tremors and then Army of Darkness.
Oh, that one throws my whole list off again.
Tremors, Army of Darkness, and then Scream.
Yeah, Army of Darkness is so fun.
Yeah, I forgot about both Army of Darkness and damn. All right, I'll go with, because you already mentioned that, so I guess I'll stick with my original list. I'm gonna go Candyman.
There you go.
Candyman's great. And then I'm gonna go with have either of you seen Wolf with Jack Nicholson?
No, I haven't
I've
seen
heard.
that one.
I know about it.
Yeah, but
So
yes,
it's not the best movie in the world, but Jack Nicholson's my favorite actor, and he plays a werewolf, and it's kind of like The Raven. It's like it wouldn't have worked if it wasn't Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
but because it is, it's awesome. And then I'm gonna go for number 1. I'm gonna do Sixth Sense.
There you go.
Because a lot of people don't like it because M. Night Shyamalan, but it's his best movie by far. And the twist, I think the twist, I've never been more shocked by a twist than that one.
Yeah, I remember watching it for the first time, just being like, "Whoa!"
I had it spoiled to me, so I was not very happy.
You said what?
I had it spoiled, man.
Oh, did you? Oh, I had. The one that I was angry the most for it being spoiled was I was watching all the Tremors movies, and like I was kind of like looking them up, and somehow I came across an article that spoiled the ending of Tremors 7, Shrieker Island. And I was like, no, I don't want to know that.
Come on, though. It's Tremors 7. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Nightmare Corner. What's up, fellas? Welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. So for 2000s, my list. This is another one of my, like.
Yeah, this era is pretty weak.
As well, yeah, But I'm gonna have to go with. Well, Hunter, does anybody know theirs first?
I do, but
Okay.
James, do you know yours?
I'm thinking.
I know at least two of mine.
I know. Right when y'all say like I do mine, I go and look like what like 2000s horror movies, and I'm like, damn. And I have to pick it really quick, but yeah,
Oh,
I guess I'll
okay.
go.
I got mine.
You go.
Okay. Number 3, Cloverfield. Just a shout out to like the old school 1950s horror films, and
Yeah.
even though it's like the found footage, like shaky camera, a lot of people didn't really like that. This one didn't bother me. Cloverfield's great. Number 2, The Ring. It's from 2002. Now, I have a awesome story. So after I watched The Ring for the first time, we got a phone call on the house phone, like immediately after the movie ended, and it said no caller ID.
Oh
And
my god.
me and my friend, we were like 7 or something, not 7, but like 10. We were like, "Oh my god, it's The Ring!" But number 1, The Devil's Rejects.
Yep, that's up there.
The Devil's Rejects is like, I think by far the best thing Rob Zombie has movie wise has ever done.
Yep.
I absolutely love that movie. It is awesome.
There you go, James.
All right. I'm gonna go number 3. The number 3 and number 2 are pretty much interchangeable. So I'll just say number 3 is American Psycho. Because it's like Christian Bale is so great in it. Because like he just like carries the movie. So it's kind of one where it's like if it wasn't him, it wouldn't have really worked. Because the movie doesn't make like any sense. But it's just awesome watching this big dude playing like this dork, and then all of a sudden he starts killing everybody.
Yeah.
And then number 2, I'm gonna go Saw. Or no, number 2, I'm gonna go Saw 2, because Saw 2 that had another great twist ending that I think is the best twist that Saw has ever done. And I just like the whole premise of them like in this house and they have 2 hours to escape. And then number 1, I'm gonna go with Ginger Snaps. It's so underrated. It's so underrated. It's one of the best werewolf movies ever.
I gotta check that out. It's on Shudder. I gotta watch it, man.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been here. I hear a lot about it. So like, I don't know. I think Joe Bob did an episode on it too. So, which is even better. But for my number 3, it's honorable mentions Trick or Treat and Shaun of the Dead and The Descent.
Yes.
The Descent, yeah. Honorable mention for me too.
That's great. Also, do you guys know there's a sequel to that?
Yeah, Descent Part 2. I heard it wasn't any good though.
Yeah. I don't.
Just like a cash grab.
I don't plan on checking that out anytime soon.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, I got House of the Devil, which I watched about a month or 2 ago for the first time, Joe Bob, and it was great. I really fell in love with the atmosphere.
Not the
House. Not the 1897 3 minutes.
1897.
Yeah.
No. 2009. Number 2, my favorite horror remake is Dawn of the Dead 2004, which made a whole new thing for like the current day zombies. And number 1, I have it right here. 28 Days Later.
Oh, 28 Days Later. That's up there.
Yeah, that's really good.
Cillian Murphy was almost perfect in that movie.
So yeah, I guess here let's My Nightmare Corner, Zombieland, and Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, Zombieland, for sure.
I didn't like the found footage, but Cloverfield is a good movie.
I agree. I think it could have been better if it wasn't found footage. That kind of threw it off for me a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. A lot of people didn't really enjoy that whole aspect of it, but I thought it was done really well, and the whole homage thing to the giant monsters is cool. I've really been enjoying the stream from Daniels. Thank you. I'm glad you have. Hopefully everybody has.
Oh yeah, it's been
James,
fun. It's been really fun.
James has been the man. 2010s.
2000.
Now, this decade is awesome. I think so. It's definitely a huge step up from the previous two.
Oh yeah, it's still no 70s or 80s, but it's
No.
much better than
Yes.
90s and 2000s.
I might say top 5 of all time. I don't know.
30s, 70s, 80s, and then I could see it.
I would say it is.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first for the 2010s?
Let me I'm gonna look up my list.
Since I know mine, I'll just go.
Yeah.
For number 3, I have Get Out,
Mm-hmm.
which, like I said, last night is my favorite theater experience I've ever had. Watching the movie, Jordan Peele's debut was awesome. I've been a big fan of his. We talked a lot about it last night. Number 2, it's Get Out's number 4, but 2 and 3 are tied. I would say is Hereditary and Midsommar. I think they're A24 knows they have a formula and they know what they're doing. Ari Aster is amazing in both these films. They're both his first 2 films, and to make some of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen is just blows my mind. And then the number 1 spot I have to say goes to The Witch. I'm a big fan of it. It's like an hour and a half, really psychological folk. That's like the new horror to me. I see a lot. Robert Eggers did great. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree with everything that you said. My number 3 is going to have to be the first Conjuring from 2013.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah. Conjuring from 2013. The Witch at number 2, or The Vitch, whatever. And then at number 1, Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to replace The Witch at number 2 with like not an A24 film, I would do Get Out 100%.
This one was difficult. So I'm gonna say honorable mentions. Doctor Sleep, Get Out, and Hereditary, all honorable mentions. I'm gonna go my number 3. It Follows at number 3.
Oh.
That one was done so well. It has such a great score and atmosphere. My number 2. It might be controversial to say, but I'm gonna say The Strangers Pray at Night.
Really?
Yeah.
I love The Strangers.
Yeah, Pray at Night was like I didn't know. Nobody thought like, okay, this movie's coming out 10 years after the first one. How is it gonna be like different? But then they like surprised everybody with how good it was, and I think like the pool scene is what like really does it.
Yeah.
That's what makes this. Like that one scene might be my favorite scene in the whole decade. So that's probably why. And then my number 1, I'm gonna go with The Guest. Have you seen that?
The Guest, yes.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so good.
What a nice pick right there.
What?
That's a nice pick right there.
Yeah, it's so good. Like this dude comes back from the army, but then like more it goes on, the more he starts to seem kind of weird. And then there's that like bit where he's like in the bedroom, and then he's just like he's doing like the Stanley Kubrick stare almost. And then that's when you realize, like, yep, this guy's a psycho. And then they do the whole like chase through like the school. I love The Guest.
The Guest is awesome.
Yeah.
So for 2020, since we're still really in that decade, I guess let's just say what's been your favorite film, just single-handedly favorite film so far, horror film. Because my favorite film outside of horror is Batman, the Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good. I may or may not have fell asleep in it, but It was still good.
Me and Jackson both saw it 3 times in theaters, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
it was great.
I'm a huge Batman stan. So yeah.
It was good.
So my favorite for the 2020s, I guess you could say. I don't know. I guess Halloween Kills. Just because it's Halloween, Michael, he definitely kills in that film. So that's fun to see. That's my pick.
Yeah. For me, it's a toss up. I think big honorable mention to Don't Breathe 2, which I think doesn't get the recognition it deserves because it's so good. I thought it was better than the first one, but nobody ever seems to like talk about it after it was released. But then I'm gonna go with my favorite. I'm gonna say Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I've always kind of thought that like Leatherface he's not like kind of like Michael Myers or like Freddy where you kind of got to keep him in shadow. No, he's just this big stupid oaf that runs around with a chainsaw and kills people. You don't need to make him in shadow and like. So I've always kind of wondered why don't they just make a movie with Leatherface killing everybody, and that's what we got, and it was a blast.
Oh yeah, I've watched about more than halfway through the film, and I had to leave and go do something, and I haven't finished the rest of it yet.
Oh, have you got to the scene on the bus?
Yes, I got to the bus.
Yeah. That's oh my god, that scene is so good.
Mm-hmm. So Hunter, what would your pick be?
All right, I got 2. From 2020, Quiet Place 2.
Oh, that one as well. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's up to par with the first one. And then I'm gonna go X.
Oh, X, yeah.
X is really good. Really fun.
We almost got assaulted in the theater for X. That's a funny story. I was with 2 of my friends, and one of my friends. He's a complete idiot. he took like a Twix bar, and there was like a group in front of us, and he literally throws the Twix bar at the group, and some dude stands up and goes, "Hey, who threw in the middle of the theater? Who threw that?" And I look at him and just go. I'm like, nope, not part of this. He's like, we're at a movie theater. Have some respect. I was like,
it's like in the SpongeBob movie when they're in
yeah,
like, hey, who blew this bubble?
Yeah, that's like literally what it was. I was like, I just instantly was like, nope, I'm pretending to be asleep. It wasn't me.
I still need to check out X though.
Oh, but great.
Yeah, dude. Our top films from each decade with James from Wanna Play. What a fun live stream it has been, man.
Well, what if we do now to end it off? Our top 5 or top 10 films of all time, horror films.
Holy crap.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna write it down.
Oh my god. I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna go with something like Cue the Winged Serpent, Victor Crowley. No, I'm joking.
Halloween 5, Hellraiser 9. What the mud is that? Giant flying spider just came into my room. I'm gonna kill him soon.
How about we give? Well, you can give your top 5 because mine. I'm so indecisive, and it would change every single day.
My top 5.
I can give you an underrated horror movie to check out for everybody in the chat and whoever's listening.
Well, I got my top. Well, because I told you to make videos easier, I got every friggin' horror movie that I've ever watched on a list, just ranked out. So my top 10 are number 10, They Live. Number 9, Amityville Horror. Number 8, Nosferatu. Number 7, The Wicker Man. 6, Psycho. 5, Dracula. 4, Halloween. 3, Suspiria. 2, Carrie. And 1, The Shining.
What a great list. Hunter, do you think you could pick your top 10?
Top 10? I got 5.
You got 5.
That works.
And 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are from the 70s and 2 are from the 80s. Number 1, I got Jaws. It's Jaws. Number 2, I got Halloween. Number 3, The Shining. Number 4, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then number 5, Carrie.
Sweet.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you a list of movies that I think, or horror films that I think are amazing that you should definitely check out.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2, Night of the Living Dead, The Shining, the original The Day the Earth Stood Still, Hereditary, Aliens, the second one, King Kong, the Dracula, Frankenstein, and really, to me, any Universal monster.
Yeah.
Go check them out. Jaws, and let's give an underrated one. Let me throw an underrated one. Return of the Vampire with Bela Lugosi.
I've never seen that, but I have seen Mark of the Vampire with Bela Lugosi.
Return of the Vampire is insane. We have Lugosi as a vampire. He has a sidekick werewolf. They live in a cemetery, and it takes place during World War II. So we see Nazi bombs and
Damn. Have you ever seen Mark of the Vampire? That's way lamer than Return of the Vampire. Then
Mark of the Vampire is actually the remake of London After Midnight.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's also directed by Todd Browning.
It probably is. The ending was weird. It was like he was like, "Oh, I was a great vampire." He just takes off his vampire makeup and was like, "Oh, he was actually trying to make the guy seem like he was crazy or something."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess
there's nobody better to choose to act as a vampire than Bela Lugosi if you're gonna do
that. So yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed the stream. Was a lot of fun, and we welcome James from Wanna Play to the Horrorgang family. So James, how was your first live stream over here?
It was fun. I'm excited to do more. And hopefully the idea that I pitched you the other day, hopefully that comes to be too.
Yeah.
Because that's
we'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
For sure. That would be a fun live stream.
Yeah. That could be a longer one too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So make sure to be on the lookout for James's top 10 1950s horror films.
Yep.
I don't know which one he's at. I think he's down here on mine.
He's down here on mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the bottom too on mine. So.
Okay. Yeah. Go sub to James for creative shit.
Go sub to James for some awesome horror content. One of the most creative, by far, horror YouTubers out there. Man, keep killing it.
Thank you for having me on. It's fun.
For sure, we'll definitely do it again. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that button. As Tim always says, expect more horror content coming soon. 2 movie reviews coming next week. I'm going to announce that right now. Should I announce what they are, Hunter? For the people that's in here?
Yeah, well, this is probably the biggest one that we've had in a while. So,
yeah.
So James, you got that effect.
It's the James effect.
I think we had like 16 in here at the most.
I think at one point, yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So the 2 movie reviews for next week is It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. And then after that, we're going to be having some awesome stuff coming out. So thank you for listening, watching whenever you do. That will pretty much wrap up this live stream. And again, thank you, James, for coming on the channel and talking horror.
Yep. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. Can't wait to be on again.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. And that's it. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.